$13,142. Yep, that's how much YouTube paid me for 1 million views in my first year on the platform. Well, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you again soon. Okay, wait, please don't go, please don't go. Man, that was such a stupid joke. That's really gonna hurt my watch time. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you there. That of course was not the end of the actual video. There's much more I would like to share with you today if you'd like to stick around and chat with me about how I made my first million on YouTube. 1 million views, that is. Definitely haven't made it $1 million yet. But if that happened one day, I'll do something crazy. You know what? You guys can pick. If I somehow strike gold and make $1 million on YouTube, I'll run through the streets naked or something. You guys can maybe suggest something down in the comments below, and whoever has the top comment, that's what I'll do. But within reason. Nothing too crazy, okay? So today, there's 2 things that I would like to talk with you about. Number 1, how I actually got my first 1 million views on YouTube in my first year on the platform. Number 2, this concept I have called building the farm that I think a lot of you will find really, really helpful. Make sure to stick around for it. I had a lot of fun with this farm part, and I think you guys will too. But before all that, I have to express my gratitude to you. Yes, you, because you are that 1 million views, not me. The fact that thousands of you guys now show up to watch every single one of my videos just completely blows my mind, and I can't say thank you enough for allowing me to do what I love every single day. Oh, I'm getting a bit emotional. I'm not crying, you're crying. Alright, let's move on and talk about how I actually got to 1 million views, shall we? So here is my YouTube studio in all its glory, laid completely bare for your viewing pleasure. So I have my time frame set from January 1st of last year to January 6th of this year because that's about when I crossed that 1 million mark. Now let's overlay a timeline here so we can see where the main events transpired. So from January 1st, I was still a sad little office worker in my sad little office, but I had a dream. I dreamed a dream in time gone by. Sorry you had to hear that. I really don't know what's gotten into me today. I'm really sorry. That was a Les Mis reference for those of you who didn't catch it. Great musical. So yes, I had a dream, and that dream was to be able to share what I knew about personal finance for a living. And so I started a YouTube channel to chase this dream. And then nothing happened. For about 4 months or so, we can see this completely flat line where nothing happened. I made exactly $0 despite working my butt off. I was working like 40 hours per week at my job, and then basically every night I came home, I would work on the channel pretty much until I went to sleep. And even on weekends, easily another 40 hours per week, and for months I had nothing to show for it. This is what is known as the Valley of Disappointment. Check this out. Check it out. Sorry, I swear I'm done. When you think about making progress at something, most people think of it like a straight line, right? They think, today I did 10 push-ups, and so the next time I work out, I'll be able to do 11, and then so on and so forth. That may be very true for push-ups, but when we're talking about creating an online platform, it works very differently. It works like this. This is an exponential curve, and this curve represents reality, whereas the straight line represents your expectations. And as we can see here, there's a big gap between this linear expectation and the exponential reality, because for a long time at the beginning of the curve, nothing is really happening. This expectation gap is the valley of disappointment that we feel when we start something new, like a YouTube channel. I just thought of something really funny. Imagine push-ups actually worked like an exponential curve, so that one day you did 10, and then the next day you could do 20, and then it just kind of kept doubling from there, and at some point you could do like 1,000 or whatever it was. That's the kind of world I want to live in. Speaking of push-ups, I wonder how many I can actually do these days. What's that? You guys want me to try on camera? No, I couldn't possibly. You guys are too much. I couldn't possibly. For the record, I was going so hard to try and impress you guys, but I haven't worked out in a while. We can't go to gyms here because of lockdown. I'm out of shape. Alright, that was fun. I was kind of pretending, maybe this was like a live stream and you guys were kind of egging me on to do that. It's fun sometimes to pretend that I'm actually talking to somebody instead of a camera, I think I'm going a little bit crazy with all these lockdowns. I miss people. Alright, back to the timeline. And ta-da! Once we hit mid-April, something magical happened. I started making that money. $1.86 to be exact. Talk about getting that guap, am I right? So it was at this time that I achieved monetization on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know, this means getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. This is a major milestone for new channels because it represents when things, start to get pretty serious. And for me, this is when I seriously began contemplating quitting my job to devote all my time to the channel. Now, if we imagine that we couldn't see this part of the chart over here and that we couldn't look into the future, this trend doesn't look very promising. I'm making a few bucks a day here. But remember that exponential curve I showed you earlier? That's what I was placing my faith in. So it was on July 5th when I made a whopping $5.39 that I worked my final day at my old job. That was the day I officially quit, and this here is the email that I sent to my coworkers that day, and at the bottom of the email here you can see I mentioned my channel and then said that they would probably see a much different side of me because at work, I was generally pretty quiet. I kind of just put my head down, did my work, and then went home. So nobody knew about the channel, and I'm sure watching my videos for the first time, they thought it was pretty fun to see. Sweet. So now I've quit my job and I'm going ham on the channel, but still, for months, nothing is happening. Still just making a few bucks a day here. This, my friends, was the calm before the storm. You see, the rocket ship was just in the fueling bay. We were just kind of juicing up the rockets, getting it ready for its big launch. Because once September rolled around, oh baby, I felt like Elon watching his rocket take off. One. September 21st, $325 in a single day. Yo, that's how much I made in a whole month before that. Finally, my hard work was actually starting to pay off here. And then from there on, the channel has been providing me with a livable income, which still completely blows my mind, and I can't thank you guys enough. I also find it very fitting that my highest earning video on YouTube is the video I made about quitting my job. It's like a thumbs up from the universe. Okay, so that was the timeline of events that transpired with me reaching 1 million views on YouTube and making over $13,000 doing so. How's my chest looking, by the way? Am I looking swole at all after all those push-ups? No? Okay. Now I want to talk with you about the farm. I think you will like the farm a lot. And to be honest, this was kind of the secret to me sticking with YouTube even when times got really, really tough. All right, so check it out. Let's imagine building a business or building an online platform like building a farm. Now, when most people start out and they want to kind of make some money doing something, they're generally looking for, what's the easiest way that I can make a quick buck doing something, right? So they show up at their farm with maybe a little farmer's hat, some straw in their mouth, and their watering can. And they go ahead and do a little bit of work. They water their one pot, and then they sit back. Our friendly sun comes along and shines a bit of sun, and then voila, a little bean plant sprouts. Oh, but here's the problem. You only got like a handful of beans from your farm. And that's not really even farming then. That's kind of just like hobbyist backyard gardening. Hobbies are great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with hobbies. But if we want to play in the big leagues, then we gotta get real. We need to stop being the hobbyist backyard gardener, and we need to become the farmhand. We need to get down and dirty, spreading our crap everywhere. We have to spread that manure. Then we have to till the fields till our back breaks and we're sweating profusely. And then we have to plant our seeds. More hard work. But we're not done there. No, 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 my friend. Then we have to water all this fertile soil that we've just created. By now you're like, okay, I've already done so much work and I have absolutely nothing to show for it. I literally have just piles of wet manure in front of me. My back hurts, I'm sweaty, and I'm not sure what smells worse, me or the manure. So I show up and say, hey, what's wrong, my stinky friend? And you tell me of all this hard work you've done without reward. But then I say, hey pal, why don't you turn around for a second? So you turn around and you see a wonderful, beautiful sight. A bountiful harvest of 1 million beans. Okay, so I hope you didn't find that too dumb. Full disclosure, I'm not a farmer, and I don't know anything about farming, but I had a lot of fun with that little animation. So the moral of the story is, I find it helpful to think about building things like building a farm. It's going to take a ton of work before you actually see any results. You're going to have to basically lay this very careful foundation and prepare this very fertile environment for actual results to show themselves, for you to be able to enjoy your harvests from your hard work. So when you're starting out to pursue whatever endeavor you want to, I would personally suggest to, instead of focusing on, okay, what's the quickest path for me to getting some money, I would instead focus on laying a very strong foundation. Do you want a handful of beans a month from now, or do you want 1 million beans a year from now? If you'd like to support me and my farm so I can continue working the fields, consider checking out some of the links down below, like signing up for Weevil, where you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850 when you deposit $100 into your account. Or if you're Canadian, check out Wealthsimple Trade, where you can get $10 when you deposit $100 into a new account, or Newton, when you can get $25 if you trade $100 worth of crypto. Hey, who doesn't like free money, am I right? I also have a personal finance course where I talk about other crazy concepts like the farm, and I also talk about how exactly I managed my finances so that I was able to quit my job even though I was only making like $5 a day on YouTube, and that's linked down below as well. Once again, I appreciate your support beyond words, and here's to a great 2021. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.